Perfect. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Good to get a chance to catch up and talk again.
Yeah.
So the new tour is underway. First show last night in Syracuse, I believe. Do you guys already have the set list dialed in, or are you sort of still tweaking it?
We're always tweaking it. We tried out some new songs, and the plan is to work in more of the new songs as the tour progresses. So that'll be cool for not only us as musicians, but for the fans as well, because, if they see multiple shows, the shows will change over the tour.
Absolutely, and I'm sort of looking forward to hearing a lot of the new album live, so by the time you get all the way back over to our side of the country, I should be hearing quite a bit of it.
You should hear a good amount.
So when we chatted back in September, you guys already had the album completed, except for some of the mixing and stuff. Has it been difficult sort of sitting on it all this time?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we've been chomping at the bit, sending it out to friends and sending it out to, other bands that we're friends with, and just for somebody to hear it and just get some kind of feedback. And, thankfully it's all been phenomenal feedback, and we're just so happy that it's finally here. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving the album. I just wish I had the download so I could throw it in the car and take it with me, but it's on my computer constantly. So you guys did a fantastic job. Matt Hyde did a wonderful job with production. Jay Rustin, great in the mix.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. So when we talked last time, Pat sort of stated that making this record is sort of the first time it really felt like a whole band situation, and you've called Threads something of a rebirth. Now that you've had some time to sit with the record, what other thoughts have you had about the album and the process of its creation?
I think we just all learned from that experience, just like we learned from all of our other experiences. I think, every time we go into the studio with a different producer, or every process of a song that we go through together, it was just a learning experience. And I think even now, when we play live, I think we're a stronger band because of that. I think the chemistry is even stronger between the band members, and you can see that on stage when we play, and we're just having a lot of fun. Like, it feels like we're just having fun, and that's the way it should be.
It's funny. When I was listening to the music, it's like no matter how dark the lyrical content is on some of the stuff, you guys always seem to have this sort of buoyancy in all of your music, a little bounce to it, and I absolutely love that.
Thank you. I'm glad you picked up on that, because it's definitely, especially me in particular, that's one of my favorite things to do, is even if the lyrics are dark, to find a beautiful melody that someone can sing along to.
It's almost like if you equated it to dark comedies. I love that, film and television-wise, those dark comedies, and it's sort of the same thing with your music. It's like, I don't know, it just translates well that way, I guess.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
So I saw the Death Wish video for the first time a little earlier. Love the video. Definitely seems like a dark statement on the nature of society. What can you tell us about the song in the video?
Yeah, so the video was, we used the apocalyptic theme as only an example of what we were talking about lyrically. And the lyrics were inspired by the Pygmalion effect, which is a psychiatric study that says, if you have a self-fulfilling prophecy, your actions will subconsciously start to gravitate towards making that actually happen. And, people become obsessed with that, and they can actually ruin their lives. So the song itself is apocalyptic in the personal sense of oneself, and video is more of an example of the apocalyptic on the worldly sense.
Nice. And again, it still had sort of some of that, I don't know, even there was a sense of humor to it, even though it was very sort of ominous, if you will. But it is kind of like jabbing at, like, and that's why we say it's all right, because it's like, what are you going to do? Right.
Absolutely.
And I noticed that the voyeur from Uninvited makes a return in the video.
Yeah, it was cool because we ended up getting to shoot that also in Columbus, and the Uninvited video was shot in Columbus. And Columbus is in Ohio, obviously, which is where we're from. So it was cool. Like, let's call him and get him back in this video and get the girl and try to like continue that story in a way. And it's like, why not? When else are we going to be able to do that? And it just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it really did. You guys also released the second single, Left for Dead, that, despite its lyrical content, gave me some of those Cheap Trick Beatles feels, if you will.
Yeah, you're going to hear, I mean, if you've heard the record, you're going to hear a lot of Beatles-esque moments on the record. And I mean, obviously, we're huge Beatles fans. And we definitely tried to utilize all three voices on the record. And, you know, before I would do a lot of the backing vocals, and mostly all the backing vocals, I had these guys stepping in and doing some backing vocals, so it would be a lot more authentic to what the live show would sound like.
Absolutely. So I know we don't have time to talk about all the tracks on Thread as much as I would love to, but I have to ask about a couple of them. Benny Two Dogs. I got to know about Benny Two Dogs, and of course the ominous closer, Evil Like You.
Yeah, Benny is a unique song because no one could ever possibly write that song, because it is about someone that the band knows. It's a friend of ours, and it's kind of an ode to him, and that's his nickname, Benny Two Dogs, and it's kind of an ode to him for just being a really great person. No matter how tough his life got, he was always there for his friends and always there to, you know, even if he had next to nothing, he would still give it to you. And he's just a unique character, and it made for amazing subject matter in a song. And then Evil Like You, that was actually a song that Rick, our bass player, brought to the table. And he had this riff, and we're like, we got to use this riff. So we started diving into the song, and when we were in the studio in pre-production, there was this little old piano. It was like a miniature piano from like 1902 or something. It was creepy. And he started playing Evil Like You on this piano, and it was so creepy that we thought like he maybe summoned Satan by playing it. It sounded ridiculous, but we were like, we have to put this on the record, and that's the little piano you hear in that song.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it was a great way to close out the album. So now you guys obviously had a lot of fun making this record. It means a lot to you. But was there a challenging aspect to it? I mean, what was the hardest part of making Thread?
To be honest with you, the hardest part happened when we first got off the road from all this touring. We're like, all right, we need to work on all these ideas that we've had over the last 2.5 years. Like, everybody had ideas, and we never really turned them into full songs yet. So we got a cabin, and we just lived there together for 2 weeks, and we just jammed on these songs. And that was challenging, because that was the first time the band ever worked together, and it was kind of, when you have 5 guys in a room all throwing out ideas, it's pretty counterintuitive to being creative, because it gets frustrating, and I'm not going to lie, there was arguments, there was fights, but once everybody kind of figured out what their strength was, by the time we got to the studio, it was like, okay, everybody's on the same page, and the recording process was a breeze. I mean, I couldn't believe how quickly we worked it. You know, got that done once we actually got the Sonic Ranch where we tracked the final record.
Right, and that, of course, you can really hear that in the chemistry of the band, both when you perform live and with the sound of the album.
Yeah, definitely.
So before we get out of here, last time we chatted, you said you were working on a documentary of the band with your pal Brad Gollowin. How's that coming along?
Yep. He's out with us right now. So he wanted to document the first headline tour ever, really, and he's out with us now. So there'll be more of that. He definitely documented all of the making of Fred, and there'll be some episodes to watch very soon of that. And it's just keep trucking along, and the more we grow, and the more the band does, he's there to capture it, and there's no telling when it'll be over.
So we have no end date in mind yet. So now,
no, I think I don't know if it'll be like a culmination of things, or it comes to one big screeching halt. We don't know yet.
And, of course, after you guys do this wonderful headline run this summer, you're going to be out with Godsmack and Shinedown. That is huge.
Yeah, we've been, you know, we're going to be working really hard, and you know, because after this headline tour, we also do the festivals, and then we're going out with the Used, and then Godsmack Shinedown. So it's like, man, we're going to have a huge year already, and we're just really excited about that because we want to get this music out, and we're really proud of it, and that's the best way to do it, for us to get out there and just play it.
Perfect. Well, I'm absolutely looking forward to you getting to town here so I get a chance to chat with you and see you again. Before we get out of here, totally random question, and I've wondered this before. Have you ever watched the series Pushing Daisies?
You know, someone told me to watch this, but no, I have not.
Every time I listen to you guys, I see you guys, even your new Left for Dead with all the little eyeball daisies on it and everything, I was like, I wonder if they've ever seen that series, and it's got that dark humor comedy thing that I think you guys would really enjoy. So, if you ever get a chance,
I gotta go check that out now. You're the second person to tell me that.
All right, Mike Protich of Red Sun Rising, the new album Threat out March 30th. Thanks so much for taking some time. Be safe on the tour, and I'll see you in a few weeks.
Thanks a lot, man. Take it easy.
Take care, brother.